So today I would like to give our end of the year report and our evaluation of what we got done and what we accomplished in 2007, and also some ideas about what we're going to do in 2008. At the end of the year, it's always good to look back and see what we've done, assess and evaluate the activities of the previous year, and start to make a plan for the next year. So in 2007, we did some pretty cool things. I moved to Mexico, and Uddhava and I got together, and we've been working together very intensely now for almost exactly a year. And in that time, we have grown the website, esotericteaching.org, tenfold, both in the amount of material that's online and in the number of visitors and members and so forth. So we've done so many podcasts, made so many videos. We presented about 300 hours of classes here in Mexico City, and all of those were recorded on video and posted on the site. So if someone wanted to watch all the videos on the site, it would probably take them about a month. Watching every day. There's so much on there now, between the recorded podcasts and the videos and all the stories and articles. And oh, and then by the way, we have the whole Vedic library on our site now. It's called causelessmercy.esotericteaching.org. All of Prabhupada's books are there, all of his lectures, all of his morning walk conversations, room conversations. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of material on our site now. And it's going to grow even more, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing that we did, we started the Vishnu Sahasranam podcast. Vishnu Sahasranam is a very, very important prayer, very important scripture. Because like I say, it encapsulates all the pastimes narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam in a prayer that you can chant in 25 minutes. So that's pretty extraordinary. We also started the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra course, which eventually is going to encompass the entire source literature of Jyotish, the most important Vedanga. And we're writing a program, developing a program called Jyoti. Jyoti stands for Jyotish Yantra for Ontological Temporal Integration. That's really a mouthful. But what it means is you will be able to get all the readings available from Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra with a computer program on the internet for free. And that does not currently exist anywhere. So we'll be working on that, and we'll try to finish it by middle of next year. Then, of course, there's our WebEx video conferencing system that we're using right now, which is a first in internet preaching, especially for Vedic groups. And then we're working on a new project, which has been pretty confidential up to now, but I want to announce it. It's called Ask Baba. We've had a lot of people come to our site that know nothing about our tradition. I mean, they literally know nothing about it, and they ask all kinds of questions that are really basic, and that we don't want to really spend our time answering them. We don't want to discourage people who come and ask questions. On the contrary, we actually want to encourage them. So the problem is, I have been using all my time answering these questions from people and actually neglecting my own work, which is to improve things. Okay? I consider my role not to fix things, not to answer questions, but to make things better. It's up to me to design where we're going in the future and to implement all those plans. That's really my job. I'm a visionary, okay? I've got the, you know, the hat with the propeller on it, you know, the big goggles, and I'm looking into the future, okay? So I have to come up with a way to make our website more responsive to people's questions without entangling our time and energy in answering all these different questions. Because we can see if the site grows the same way that it grew last year, by this time next year we're going to have like 1,000 visitors a day. And at that rate, I mean, it would take 3 people like me spending full time just to answer all the questions. And, you know, that's not going to happen. So we have come up with a plan that we called Ask Baba. Basically what we're going to do is take all of Srila Prabhupada's books and all of the forum posts and questions and answers that we have so far. Plus, I have a large collection of unpublished Vedic literatures, Sanskrit scriptures and so on. We're going to put all that online and make it into a searchable archive. And then we're going to put an interface on it that allows people to ask questions and get answers based on, well, not only what people have asked and answered before, but also the complete Vedic literatures. So it's going to be similar to a customer support site or something like that, where you can go and look at a list, you can enter your question, and then you can see a list of similar questions and answers. And if that doesn't answer your question, then you can submit a query and search the Vedic literatures, the complete Vedic literatures, and also all the questions and answers we've had so far. That will allow people to ask any kind of questions they want, as many as they can imagine, as often as they like, and get good answers based on the actual esoteric teaching. And at the same time, it frees us from having to deal with so many questions and answers because we have a whole bunch of other things to do, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. Let me review our platform and our policies, because in this year of preaching and dealing with many different people, we have had to make very clear the distinction between what we're doing and what other groups are doing. So first of all, according to the esoteric teaching, the whole model of religion is counterproductive. It may be okay for people who are really only interested in material life and have no desire to get out of the material world. But as soon as you do, then the model has to change. Unfortunately, the people who inherited the organizations started by my spiritual master and other similar spiritual teachers from India have tried to put this teaching into the religious model. And religious organizations have certain problems which are historically, very clear. And we don't want those problems. So we're not trying to start a religion. We're never going to start a religion. We're never going to start a church or something like that. Even if you call it a temple, it's still a church, really. And we're not going to try to, like most religious groups are trying for world domination, and therefore they get into competition with other groups, and then they have to start preaching against them, and they get into big wars, and it's just horrible. So we're not going to go there. We're not going to do that. We have a different model. Our model